The Oklahoma City Thunder are your 2024-2025 NBA champions. And of course, we got to talk about how we got here with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But before we do that, I think we got to talk about game 7 between Indiana and Oklahoma City, because Oklahoma City did what they did best all year long. They just tightened up the hatchets and won the games that they were supposed to. So join the discussion, jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, because the Thunder are NBA champions. And I can't believe it. I just, there's been multiple times I've thought to myself, like, is this real? Like, did this really just happen? But it did. The Oklahoma City Thunder are NBA champions going into next season. They are the team to beat, the team to chase all year long. And it's all about just finding a way to get back there, get back, try to win it again, and ultimately do what a lot of people expect Oklahoma City to do, which is build a dynasty at this point. But like I said, we're not going to talk about how Oklahoma City got here today. We're going to talk about Game 7. And I think we got to start off by acknowledging Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think you can talk about this and not acknowledge, hey, like, that's a really terrible thing that just happened. And obviously, if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, if you're anybody on the team, like, you want this team to be at full health. You want to play them when they're at their best. Tyrese Halliburton going down with that kind of injury in that game, like, obviously at the beginning of the game, I felt like it was a real downer. It was a really gut blow, because I think we were all like watching Tyrese Halliburton at that point go off for 9 points and really getting into it. And you're like, holy crap, like, this is going to be an incredible game. And, obviously, like, you can't change those things. Those are just, some of those things just happen. But so obviously, prayers out to Tyrese Halliburton for a speedy recovery. Tip of the hat to the Indiana Pacers, because even without Tyrese Halliburton, they put up a fight. And this was just an incredible series from them all series long. And I don't know if I would have wanted to play anybody else at this point. Going back and looking at it right now, I don't know if I would have wanted to play anybody else. But looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder, man, like, this is what they have done all year long. And when I go look at the box score and I look at the team stats and I look at the total turnovers, 23 turnovers and 32 points off of turnovers, that right there is the identity of this team. The defensive identity of this team, that is what ended up leading them to go win a championship this year. Because multiple times throughout the playoffs did I watch Oklahoma City do what they did tonight, which is, when it matters most, when Oklahoma City absolutely needs to get the win to prevent from getting eliminated or keep themselves from being on the brink of elimination, they were able to go out there, suffocate teams on defense, and create a bunch of turnovers. And that's what they were able to do. That's how they won their games. That is what this team was built off of. This was not a team that was going to kill you by offense. This was not the Golden State Warriors team of, I think, what was it, 2016 or 2017, when they had that record and they were just so damn good. Like, this is not what that team was. And so, I look at it and, I vividly remember there were multiple turnovers that night, but I think the big one, like, you had Hartenstein and Caruso locking up, I can't remember who it was over there in the corner. Multiple times you saw Chet reaching around, knocking out the balls. And Chet even had a, NBA Finals, like, record of 5 blocks in a Game 7 game. Like, I just watched this game and I was like, this is the identity of the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is what they want to be. This is where they can hang their hat. And this is how they have beaten teams all year long. But 14 steals, 8 blocks. They only had 8 turnovers to Indiana's 23. This was just an incredible series and an incredible game. I do look at this, though, from SGA and say, all right, you are now an elite company with Michael Jordan. Now is the only player with Michael Jordan to win a scoring champ, MVP, NBA Finals, and then an NBA Finals MVP. This is when SGA's at his best. And he had his best, I think he had one of his best games of the entire playoffs tonight. 29 points, 12 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, only 1 turnover. He only shot 8 of 27 from the field, so not the most efficient Shai that we've seen, 2 of 12 from 3. He did go 11 of 12 from the free throw line. But SGA is at his best when he is getting his teammates involved. This series specifically, If you go look at the 3 games Oklahoma City lost, SGA had a combined 9 free throws in that series. In the 3 games where Oklahoma City won in pretty good fashion, he averaged 10 assists a game. He had a little over 30 assists. That's when SGA's at his best, when he's getting his teammates involved, but also getting his own looks. Instead of like what we saw in game 1 of the NBA Finals, where SGA kind of like forced himself to get hot, get in rhythm, but then none of the other team was in rhythm, and ultimately you saw Oklahoma City lose that game. This is MVP Shai right here. And I just felt like this was one of his best games of the playoffs because of how he was able to get everybody else involved. And I saw that with Jada, who was 20 points, 7 of 20 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 of 7 from the three. So again, not the most efficient night. But if you don't go in the next season talking about Lou Dort and J-Dub as front runners for the Defensive Player of the Year award, then what are we even doing here? Because J-Dub again tonight showed you he is a defensive menace on that side of the ball. He had 2 steals tonight, and it felt like his defensive impact was bigger than what the box score shows, because it felt like, just like Chet, he was out there poking balls out. He was, diving for loose balls. Like, J-Dub is a dog. You want this guy on your team. Chet Holmgren, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 1 steal, 6 of 8 from the field. Like, a super great night, efficient night from Chet. Like I said, he had the NBA Finals Game 7 record for 5 blocks. This young core, there's nothing but potential here with them. They're only going to continue to get better, which has got to be scary for the league. Lou Dort had that crazy, insane logo man 3-pointer that, like, at the time, you just felt like, what are we doing? And then it goes in, and you're like, okay, like, this is the start to one of those runs. And it ultimately was, but Indiana was able to they were able to stand fast through those runs that Oklahoma City had. And ultimately, they were able to end up and come back and have a little bit of run of their own. It just wasn't enough to get them into one of those 20-point comebacks. The double big lineup was just, it was extremely fun to watch Mark kind of tinker with that and going kind of small. But then at the end of the game, you saw Mark kind of throw in a lot of the guys that really hadn't had a chance to play in the NBA Finals. Dylan Jones, Ousmane Dieng, Kenrich Williams obviously got to go in there, but he's had time in the NBA Finals. AJ Mitchell, like, this was just incredible to watch from top to bottom. What a way for Oklahoma City to be able to go out there and win it in Game 7. They are now your NBA champions. They have done the uncommon by just 2 years ago being removed from having like 20 wins or whatever it was to now being NBA champions. Like, this just doesn't happen. And, for Oklahoma City to be here, like, the league's put on notice. Oklahoma City fans are excited. SGA is probably undoubtedly now the best Thunder in this franchise history. I know a lot of people are going to want to make their case for Westbrook and Kevin Durant, and I do agree with both of those arguments, because without Kevin Durant, the Thunder probably is not what they are today. Without Westbrook, the Thunder do not have all of those great years. But let me tell you, like, they're here, baby. They're ready to go. So we're going to dive a little bit more into this later tonight in a live. So make sure you guys are joining that. Drop any questions below you want answered in that live. We got Jay coming on. We're going to talk about the series, the game, what's next for the Thunder. We're going to talk about all of it. We'll dive into there. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were about Game 7. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button.